My name is Rio Clarke. I am 22 years old. I'm currently working as an assistant producer for Buzz 16 Productions. I never wanted to work in TV, let alone be a sound op. You know, I came out of football in the summer of 2017, and then it was until like February 2018 where I found out about Mama Youth, and I was sort of doing a bit of music at the time, starting to do music, which I'm still doing now, but so I started to just sort of delve into a bit of music, making my own. And then I went to speak to someone like who helps you get like internships or apprenticeships and stuff like that. So then like I was speaking to him for like a good hour or even more, and we found nothing. Like we found a couple like music engineering like sort of courses, but they were all starting in September, so there was nothing to actually do. And I was sort of like giving up, but then he looked in his junk email and then saw something like called Mama Youth Project, and then basically saw sound operator. And because that was just, it wasn't to do with music, but because it was still sound related, he was like, you might as well just go for it and see what happens. So he sent me I think I literally applied on the same evening, and then I didn't expect anything, but yeah, then got a reply back for an interview, and then yeah, literally that's how it all happened. Biggest thing I was surprised about when joining Mama Youth was just that even just the amount of sound kit that I had, like, because you know, watching TV growing up, you just think it's just one cameraman doing everything, you know, like he does the edits, he does every single thing. So just like I remember like sitting down with all the kit, and you got to go through all the list, and I just didn't know what anything was, like at all, like nothing at all. And I was like, how am I going to do this? In terms of like how fast paced it was, I think I was able to adapt just because I was used to dealing with pressure, you know, like from football, like, you know, like playing matches and stuff like that. So like I was able to adapt on a personal level, like because I had the right attitude, I was punctual, you know, I worked hard. At Mama Youth we would speak to like, you know, professionals and stuff like that. So like one of the talks was with Sky Sports producer. His name is Mark Scott. He just randomly like messaged me and was like, there's a junior assistant producer role at Buzz 16 Productions, and these are the shows that they make. And the thing is, I recognize as the shows because I watched them anyways, just as a football fan, like I watched them. So I was like, wow, like I don't know what a junior assistant producer is, but I want to work in football, so let me just go for it, basically. I don't remember feeling nervous or anything like that because the expectations still weren't there. I just remember like doing the interview and just basically speaking about football and just my background and my passion for it, because I had nothing else to speak about really. I just knew I loved football and I wanted to get into it, so that was obviously the right thing to do, and not try to act like, oh yeah, I know everything. You know, I was pretty clear that I don't know everything, like, but I'm like willing to learn, which is the main thing. My most recent documentary that I worked on was called Micah Richards, Tackling Racism, which is a documentary about basically racism in football. And it was a very small team, so I was assistant producer for that, but I was essentially like producing. So the early stages was a lot of research, you know, the stats, the facts, contributors we can speak to and all of that. So I done that, and then when we actually started to film, I will then like contact the contributors and try to liaise with them, try to liaise with Micah's agent about that, obviously a schedule and like where it will best be. So then once we know a location, it's a case of like finding a location, ringing up hotels, or like we done a shoot at Wembley Stadium, so contact Wembley Stadium, like, can we do this? Can we film here? So then, yeah, so organising and preparing the shoot, and then at the shoot, it'd be me and the director who would, you know, like make sure the content is right for us. So Michael will know his questions and stuff, but if he needs a budge in the right direction, you know, we will ask the question or tell him to go down that direction. And then like once all the film was done, like it was just a long process, sitting down with the editor and the director, just cutting stuff down, finding music. Like people don't know how important music is. You know, you gotta find the right tone in music. So I spent a lot of time, you know, finding music. If I didn't do Mama Youth, I have no idea what I would have done, because up until that point, like after football, I was just doing like sort of dead end jobs, you know, like just to get money basically. Like I was doing stewarding, I was selling Christmas trees, I was like lifting, like unloading vans and loading vans. So it's like, I don't actually know, maybe I would have considered going into uni, but I don't think that would have been right for me anyways. But yeah, I generally don't know what I would have done, to be honest. It's just nice to have a purpose, you know, like I feel like I lost that for a while. So like since Mama Youth, I just felt like, yeah, like we just had a gut feeling that, yeah, this could be like something good, you know. I never knew what would happen in 12 months time or 2 years time, but I just knew like, yeah, like just give this a real go, and you never know what might happen. Obviously to continue with Bow 16 and progress, but I think like the biggest thing I can think about now, what I want to do is like just to make, you know, my own stuff, like whether that's just like independently or have like, you know, my own production company or something along those lines. I think would be a good sort of goal to have. I don't see many people from similar backgrounds. Like even I've worked in TV now for, well, including Mama Youth, for like 3 years now, and I haven't come across many people other than people that I've met at Mama Youth. I haven't really met people from similar backgrounds or people who look like me, you know, like, so I think it's just important to tell people like, well, my story initially started with me wanting to do something, which was be a footballer, but now like I'm doing, you know, something else. I'm happy doing it, you know, like people don't think that's a possibility because they just know one thing. So like I think like just wanted to do it just to basically tell people that you can, like, you know, you can do whatever you strive to do. It just takes like hard work and dedication. It just goes to show that, you know, like Mama Youth is for everyone. So I'll definitely make it clear that, you know, like if you want it, you have got a place into TV, you know, like if you get it, it's I've told so many people about it, you know, like that don't know about it, but it's just like if you get it, like there's definitely a place for you in TV, because like what has happened since, for me, it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Mama Youth. I remember my first shoot at Bow 16. It was with, this was in like the first month of being there. It was with Sadio Mane, who plays for Liverpool. And I remember, so we'd done it on like a Thursday or a Wednesday, and like he basically, like, he was just in front of the green screen and had to do some skills and like say a couple lines. And then Liverpool were actually playing against Arsenal on the weekend. And then like, because like people at work knew I used to play football and stuff, so like my sort of role was to sort of keep him happy. So in between filming, I would basically like just like talk to him and play football with him essentially. So I remember just sort of playing football with him and stuff, and like just sort of bantering with him. Like I remember because we were playing Liverpool on the weekend, and I was like, yeah, I'm an Arsenal fan, and he was like, yeah, like watch the weekend, like I'm gonna score a hat trick. And I remember he was saying, he had to say a couple lines, and he was like making mistakes, and like I was sort of like chuckling a little bit, and like he saw me in the corner of the eye. He was like, hey, you Arsenal fan, for that I'm gonna score 3 goals on Saturday. I was like, wow, everyone's laughing. But yeah, like that's definitely up there with like one of the best like moments in TV. Like that's my favorite shoot for sure. Just to like not just work with Mane, but to have that like connection and relationship with him at the time, like that was pretty cool. I am the catalyst for Sadio Mane. His brilliance.